Tounde Yessofou might be the most physically imposing wing in his class, and is also one of the most compelling. He's got a thick, strong frame and explosive athleticism that lets him bulldoze his way to the rim, finish through contact like a freight train, and punch gaps in the passing lanes for steals. He plays with a level of physicality that few peers can match, but when you look at his offensive game, he is incredibly raw. The big question for Tounde is, can a player this explosive and physical develop the finesse and skill required to survive on the perimeter in the NBA? If you love deep dives on a draft and the NBA, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. In this video, we're going to break down everything about his game. We'll cover why his strength as a driver and interior finisher is already elite, and how his defensive potential could make him a difference maker. We'll also take a hard look at the areas that will define his NBA ceiling: his slow jump shot mechanics, his raw handle, and limited playmaking. This is a high risk, high reward prospect, and by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea on if Tounde is worth that gamble. First, let's talk about the physical tools. Yessofou is a 6'6", 210-pound wing who plays with the strength of a power forward. His very thick, strong frame is the foundation of his game. He's an explosive athlete as well. I don't think he's as explosive vertically as fellow Baylor Bear VJ Edgecombe last year, but certainly at a very high level in terms of power and burst, especially laterally and in straight lines. This strength allows him to get really low on drives and withstand bumps better than almost anyone. However, because he often played more like a big man in AAU and EYBL, his overall movement patterns are often at one speed, which can limit his deception against higher level defenders. The question is, as a 6'6" wing, can he continue to dominate physically once everyone else is also an NBA level athlete? After watching Tounde for a bit, there was one skill that kept popping consistently. He is an incredibly impressive finisher through contact. Once he gets a runway, his sheer power and low center of gravity make him impossible to stop. He has an effective, albeit very basic, inside scoring game, and he can power his way to the rim in a straight line drive. Even through heavy contact and off balance, Tounde consistently finished well. What surprised me is that his touch is actually better than I first thought, flashing good finishes and a nice runner to his game. He doesn't have a great handle to get to his spots, but all he needs is just a half step, and his momentum does the rest. This physical interior finishing style also lent itself well in the post. Yessofou consistently put up good numbers on post-ups, using his strength and finishing touch to put pressure on defenses. There wasn't any fancy footwork or post hooks here, just pure dominance physically. I'm not sure it's a realistic option at the next level, but it could be useful for attacking mismatches in some scenarios. This is where the risk comes in. Right now, Yessofou's jump shot is a question mark. His shot mechanics are slow and a bit clunky. He shot 34% from 3 in his senior year though, signaling a positive trajectory, but the process needs refining. His pull-up mid-range game is intriguing though. He's shown more development in that area as well, though his release can still look a bit clunky at times. However, there's optimism if he's allowed to play off-ball. He looks good when exploding off the catch, and his potential for offensive rebounding and cutting means that if he can develop his jumper, there's a good foundation for him as an off-ball player. The comparison that comes to mind is Lu Dort or OG Anunoby, who were similarly raw but became a reliable catch-and-shoot threat. For Yessofou to survive offensively on the perimeter, the jump shot development is paramount. Yessofou is currently a straight line driver. His handle is extremely raw. He doesn't have the complexity or change of pace to break down high level defenders in isolation. Improving his handle is a vital step. It's the difference between being a predictable finisher and an unpredictable attacker who can run the pick and roll at times. This limits his playmaking, as he doesn't consistently generate advantages for others. He's not a willing passer, but that's often because his handle prevents him from getting to the spots where passing lanes open, though he also just doesn't have great vision. That vision becomes tunneled once he decides to attack. Tounde doesn't have a great feel for the game in this area. Being able to maintain awareness and vision while you're attacking is what separates guys who get real offensive creation reps in the NBA from dependent role players in the league. Defensively, Yessofou has all the tools to be a difference maker. His combination of size, strength, and burst allows him to be disruptive. He's fantastic at explosively punching gaps in passing lanes for steals. That kind of defensive playmaking has immense value. He didn't flash much aerially defending the rim. Most of his value will be from generating steals and his on-ball defense. He moves his feet well and has the strength to hold up against bigger players. He has the potential for two-way upside because he already possesses the physicality and explosion to contribute on defense. If he can turn those flashes into consistent team defense, he could become a highly coveted wing defender. So as he heads to Baylor, what will ultimately define Tounde Yessofou's ceiling and his potential in the NBA? There are three key swing factors to watch closely. First is shooting development. This is the most crucial factor. His current shot mechanics are slow, which means defenses can ignore him off ball or close out short. He must become at least a reliable catch and shoot threat to open up his driving lanes. Also, his pull-up mid-range development here will also help his self-creation. Second is handle development. Tightening his dribble is non-negotiable. It unlocks versatility, allowing him to play on the perimeter and attack mismatches. If he remains a straight-line driver, his offensive floor is significantly lower. He becomes much more dependent on gaps being created for him. And finally, playmaking improvement. As he sharpens his handle and forces the defenses to react, he needs to improve his processing speed to make the right reads and find open teammates. Even if he's not tasked with creating, he still needs to make the right reads in closeout attacking scenarios. These factors will decide if Yessofou tops out as a raw, limited offensive player, or if he evolves into a lottery-level, lineup changing two-way wing in the mold of a Lu Dort or smaller OG Anunoby. Which area do you think he needs to improve the most to reach his full potential? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. In summary, Tounde Yessofou is an explosive, powerful wing with tremendous physical foundation and two-way potential. His elite finishing and defensive playmaking give him a high floor as a complementary piece. But to hit his lottery-level ceiling, he must dramatically improve his shooting, handle, and playmaking. If he can take those developmental leaps, he could be special. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Next week, we're going to be diving into Arkansas's Darius Acuff, one of the top guard prospects from this class. So stay tuned. That's going to be a good one.